Hi everybody, and I'm just here to help you guys get prepared for the quiz, Unit 6. This is dealing with parabolas, both vertical and horizontal. It also includes some of our quadrilaterals proving on the coordinate plane. Alright, so let's get started. Here's problem number 1. First off, take a look at this equation. It starts with a y, therefore this parabola will either need to open up or it'll need to open down. Okay, that's because y deals with the up and down direction. So when we look at how it opens, we're going to take a look at the number in front of the parentheses. We're always going to do this. This is a positive 1/8, therefore it opens up. Alright, and the vertex, remember from the formula, this is h comma k. You will be given the formula, y minus k equals 1 over 4p times x minus h squared. This formula will be given to you. You'll just have to know that this is a vertical parabola. So the vertex here will actually be -2, comma -3. The reason the sign changes for h and k is if you look over here at the formula, it's -k and -h. The negative belongs to the formula. Here, when we plug in a -3, it will turn this negative to a +3. Okay? An easy way to remember which is h and which is k, you can take a look at the formula, or h always sits next to x and k always sits next to y. Alright, axis of symmetry is going to be x equals your h, and h is -2. Remember, you need to put x equals here. I need to know if it's y or x equals. Alright, in order to find p, we're going to take this 1/8 again. And this time we're going to set it equal to 1 over 4p, because that's where it's sitting in the formula, right in front of the parentheses. So cross multiply, I have 8 equals 4p. Divide both sides by 4, and you get that 8 divided by 4 is 2. So my p value is 2. In order to find your focus, okay, remember that the x value is going to stay the same. It's the y value that's going to change. So we leave our x value as h, -2, but this time you're going to take k and you're going to add p to it. So -3 plus 2 will give you the -1 you need for the y value of the focus. For the directrix, it's going to be y equals k minus p. So we take a -3 minus p, which is -2, so that will give us a -5. That's it for problem number 1. In problem number 2, we notice that x appears first, so this is a parabola that's either going to open left or it's going to open right. This is the formula that you are going to get. You have to know that this is what we need for left and right parabolas. It's not going to say that this is a horizontal parabola. You just need to know. Now, because the parabola either opens left or right, we need to take a look at the number in front of the parentheses. Because the number is positive, it opens to the right. If the number was negative, it would open to the left. Okay? Now, going back to the vertex, remember in the formula, this is h, this is k. H always sits next to x, while k sits next to y. So the vertex here will be 4, 1. Remember to change the signs because the negative is part of the formula, so you have to change the signs. Alright, axis of symmetry here is going to be, not x, this is a horizontal, so it's going to be y equals and whatever your k value is. So that's 1. Oops, and I wrote k. Alright, now we need to find our p. Take your 2 and change it to a fraction, 2 over 1. This will help us whenever we solve by setting it equal to 1 over 4p. Cross multiplication says that 2 times 4p is 8p. 1 times 1 is 1. Divide both sides by 8. P equals 1 over 8. So that is our value there. Now, with the focus, remember, this time, because it opens left and right, the y value will stay the same while the x changes, the h value. So we're going to add 4 plus 1/8, and you get 33 over 8, comma 1. For the directrix, it's going to be x equals, but this time you take h and you subtract 1/8, so you get 31 over 8. Alright, problem number 3, okay? You have to make this equal to y in order to type it in your calculator. So you will add 2 to both sides. So what you will put in your calculator is 1/4 x minus 4 squared plus 2. Make your table of values. Remember, you're going to put your vertex in the middle. So our vertex, according to the formula, is 4, 2. And the values that I got were 2 and 3, 0, 6, 6, 3, and 8, 6. So you would plot those. Alright, and there is my parabola. Okay, so let's see if I can get a good, nice parabola. It's not perfect, but you get the picture. Now, we also need to graph the focus and the directrix. So I'm going to go back to this 1/4. I need to know P in order to find the focus and the directrix. So I set 1/4 equal to 1/4P, cross multiply, and P equals 1. Which means that the focus will move up 1 from the vertex and the directrix will move 1 down. So this right here, y equals 1, is going to be my directrix, while my focus is right here at 4, 3. Alright, this one begins with an x, so we know it needs to open left or right. So we need to get this equal to y. First thing you want to do is, if there was a number here, you would need to you would need to divide to get the multiplication off. So let's say if there was an 8 here, you would need to divide both sides by 8 in order to get rid of that. Since there's just a 1, we can move straight on to the next step, which is square rooting both sides. Okay? So when you square root this right side, you're going to end up with y minus 6, and you're going to get plus or minus square root of x plus 5. Don't forget your plus or minus. That's crucial. If you forget it, you only get 1/2 of the parabola you need. Add 6. What you're going to type into your calculator is this. Now remember, you have to create 2 tables of values. Okay? So I'm going to move this over. So for the I guess it would be the upper side, we're going to have -5, 6, because that's my vertex. You always want to put the vertex first. -4, 7, -1, 8, 4, and 9. Those would be the top half of my parabola. Now we need the bottom half. So this is our second y values. Use the same exact x values you used in the previous table. Okay, so 6, 5, 4, and 3. Alright, so now it's our job to graph those. So -5, 6, -4, 7, -1, 8, and 4, 9. Here, and 4, oops, that was not the right point, there it is, and 4, 3. Alright, so there is my parabola as it opens right. A little messy here, but you get the picture. So now we need to find the focus, but before we can find the focus, we have to find P. So the number in front of the parentheses is your P. Here, there's no number, which means we understand that to be 1. So you're going to have 1/1 equals 1/4P. Cross multiply, 4P equals 1. Divide by 4, P equals 1/4. Which means our vertex will move to the right 1/4, and our directrix will be a line directly 1/4 to the left of the vertex. So as you can see there. So that little dot there would be my focus, and that would be my directrix. So the directrix would be x equals -21/4, while the focus was -19/4, 6. Alright, find the equation of a parabola given the focus and directrix. Okay, remember that if this says y equals, you're going to use the formula that starts with a y. Oops, forgot my 1/4P. Okay, you're going to use this formula. So I need HK and P. Okay, so if the focus is at 2, 3, then we need a point on the directrix so we can find the midpoint, which is the vertex. Look at the directrix. It says y equals -1. So I want to put this for my y value, -1. We take the x value from the focus. Now we can find the midpoint. So the vertex would be the midpoint of these two. And you will get 2, 1. You also need to find P. P is going to be the y value of the focus subtracted from the y value of the vertex. So P is equal to 3 minus 1, which is 2. Now all we have to do is plug in what we know into this equation. Instead of K, I will now have a 1. Instead of P, so 4 times P, I have a 2. And the H becomes a -2. So we can simplify this farther by making this 1 over 8, because 4 times 2 is 8. So this right here would be your formula. Get rid of that leftover. There we go. Now you're going to do the same thing here, but this time it starts with an x, so you're going to use the formula that starts with an x. Okay, we need to find the vertex. The focus is already given at 4, -2, and the directrix has an x value of 0, so that we put that there for x, and the y value would be -2. So to find the vertex, you do the midpoint, and for my vertex, I got 2, -2. So to find the p-value, you are going to subtract the x value of the focus from the x value of the vertex. So 4 minus 2 is 2. Plug in what you know. Okay, h is 2, k is -2. Remember there was a negative here already, so we put plus 2. Put in a 2 for p. 4 times 2 is 8. So x minus 2 equals 1/8 y plus 2 squared is your answer.